I believe I read it in your prophetic newsletter about the water. Something about when the water breaks, it's a sign. Did you write that?
Yeah, because as we're going into this hot topic, I call it, about a great sign in the heavens. Let me just read just part of Revelations 12:1. It says, "Now a great sign appeared in heaven." Now we're going to be talking about this constellation that Revelations 12:1 describes what is happening right now in the heavens that hasn't happened for 5,700 years, literally going back to when Adam and Eve walked on the earth. And the description of this constellation and the stars and the planets and the planet of Jupiter, we'll be going into that with more description in a little while, but it's happening literally to the T. And a great sign in heaven. And then I am showing in these newsletters that the Matthew trilogy from Matthew, Mark, and Luke from the meeting on the Mount, did Jesus tell his disciples about this sign happening in the heavens? And the answer is yes. Listen to this. Okay, there will be great earthquakes in various places, famines, pestilence, and there will be fearful sights and great signs from heaven. Skip over another, couple of paragraphs, and it says, "And there will be signs in the sun, in the moon, and in the stars." This constellation event is involving the sun, the moon, and the stars all at once. I mean, this is just so absolutely huge. It's literally as if God carved a calendar in the heavens. It's the only event that I know that you can see the day of the event in the future before it happens. So going back to your question about the water, this sign, like I say, I'm not going to go into great detail on it yet, but it's a constellation called Virgo, which is virgin, and the planet Jupiter has been in the womb for 9 months, and the planet started leaving the womb on the 9th of September. Everybody's focused on the 23rd. And most of the teachers that are focusing on the 23rd, they're pre-trib, and the 23rd is approximately the last day of the Feast of Trumpets. So they see this all as a sign of the rapture. I mean, big
Do they
names.
actually think the rapture's taking place this month?
I'm not going to mention a name, but I watched a big name, preacher. He had a sermon posted a few weeks ago called "The Final Farewell," and quote, "We are about to witness the greatest event in human history, the rapture."
This week or month, right?
Yeah, it's happening.
The
They're
next few
looking
days,
to
yeah.
the 23rd. But we should be looking at the 9th, which has already happened, and things are already happening concerning the 9th. Do you know when you're given a date for a birth, it can be a few days before or a few days after when the actual birth takes place? You know what I mean? It's kind of like a target date. And in God's grace, if you're living in Mexico, something big happened.
Yes.
You know what I mean? If you're living in Houston, something big happened. Well, I call the things that we're seeing in 3 weeks, 3 mega catastrophes, records, each one a record in its own right. And each one of them had to do with water. 2 hurricanes dealing with water.
Water.
And a mega earthquake offshore in Mexico dealing with water. And you know what happens when you have contractions leading up to a birth? The water breaks. I believe that these early contractions we're seeing, these mega events, is the breaking of the water having to do with this constellation in the heavens. A sign, a great sign, warning. Do you know what Matthew 24 said? When Jesus' disciples met him on the Mount of Olives, they said, "Jesus, can you tell us what will be the sign of your coming and the end of the age?" You know, they might have asked for a sign, but when Jesus gave the answer, man, he gave literally point by point, blow by blow. From his answer started at verse 4 or 5 in Matthew 24, all the way through verse 28.